there's a silent shift happening under the radar, moving from digital back to analog. Over-reliance on technology has stripped away the fun of learning a new art form. For a while I was looking for that same excitement I had when I first started out in photography. And ever since I saw some of my favorite photographers on this platform turning to film, I knew I had to dip my toes in as well. Right now I'm heading towards Metro Gully to look for film cameras. Wish me luck. It was a Sunday, so most of the shops were closed. Still, it was way crowded than I'm typically used to. There were two shops side by side where I could see film cameras on display. There were plenty of cameras to choose from, starting from Pentexes to Yashicas to Nikons. At first, my eyes were drawn to a Pentax K1000. The shutter had noticeable wear and tear, but the camera was fully functional. One shop had two identical Yashica FX3 Supers. One had a terrible shutter lag and the other one seemed fine. Then one of the shopkeepers wanted me to look at a piece he recently acquired. It was a Minolta SRD Super with a 50mm f1.4 lens. He was adamant that I choose it over the Pentax K1000 as it had more features. And right then and there, my wallet was emptied instantly. Although I really wanted to explore other sections of the market, but due to time constraints, I couldn't do it. Now it was time to test the camera with some film. Only then I'd be able to fully understand the condition and inner workings of the camera. Looking at film prices online nearly gave me a heart attack. So I decided to hunt for the cheapest color film available in the market. After spending hours searching online, I finally got my hands on 2 rolls of Kodak Vision 3 250D. And the adventure began. 3 days to take 72 exposures. Each frame costs money, unlike digital, where you can shoot as many as you want and filter them out later. Here I had to be more intentional, careful, and relatively quick as I had few days left of the trip. For metering, I initially used an app on my Android, but later switched to iPhone as my Android was giving me inconsistent readings, mostly overexposure, as you'll get to see in all of the images taken on day 1. this was my first shot taken on film. Although slightly overexposed, but the colors came out nice. The very first struggle that I faced using this camera was getting used to the optical viewfinder. As it was old and hazy, manual focusing was quite the challenge, and on top of that, having poor eyesight made it even more difficult. As it was a color film, I was intentionally choosing scenes with vibrant colors and lush greeneries. Looking back, I think I should have taken a few more shots. I was being too selective about the compositions. We faced our first obstacle at St. Paul's Cathedral. After I took these photos, guards asked me not to take any more photos using a camera. Rather, they suggested me to use my phone to take photos and videos. As bizarre as it sounds, we decided to comply, whereas others were still using their cameras, ignoring the stars. Not being able to take as many photos as I wanted, we decided to head out and explore another section of the city called the Dalhousie Square, hoping to find something worth capturing. there I took these photos of St. Andrew's Church. Overall, day 2 was quite underwhelming as I couldn't take as many photos as I wanted. Day 3 was going to be quite difficult as I had almost an entire roll to finish that day. I guess being so selective about what to capture didn't turn out to be such a great strategy after all. Filming the entire memorial with a 50mm wasn't working, so I had to focus on creating compositions using other elements in the scene. Simultaneously, I was also taking photos with my digital camera. Check out my previous video for those. In some of the shots, the colors came out nice, but in some it was off. Not really sure what caused it. clicked as many scenes as I could, but the pressure of finishing the role was getting to me. It was then way past lunchtime and we were really hungry, but still I had almost half of the role to finish. I knew then and there that I had no other option but to shoot the rest of the film at night. But at ISO 250 at night, the photos weren't going to be as sharp, especially handheld. It was Christmas night, so the streets were lit up. But along came the crowd. By then, I was already in spraying and praying mode.
Everything's fine. Wouldn't expect any more from this. The situation's in line with every story that I heard of the burning bliss, and I wait, trying to appreciate, and I wait, trying to.
I was already tired and I wasn't feeling my best at the time. But I kept pushing on and eventually finished the film. But the notion that the photos are not going to come out the way I wanted them to was really bothering me. So we decided to lighten the mood and got ourselves some coffee and cheesecakes. So that's how I barely finished 2 rolls of film in my first attempt. But now that I have these photos developed, there were a few in there that weren't as bad. Sure, I could have done much better and I should have been more generous in choosing compositions to capture, especially when I had the time. But since it was my first time, the unfamiliarity with the format caused some mismanagement on my part. Also, looking back, I had too much on my plate, shooting both film and digital at the same time. It made the whole experience too overwhelming. So now officially, can I call myself a part of the film photography community? Let me know. and I can't wait to share my next photography adventure with you guys. Stay tuned.